The action adventure story structure is a fun story to write. They're two very different types of stories, even though we tend to lump them together. This, like the other genre stories, the other genre lectures, are here to help you decide on what story to write early in the quarter. Again, for your assignment, study action adventure stories if that's what you're interested in. The essence of the adventure film, one, is that the story is set in historic periods and in exotic locales. I'm going to use Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark as an example for the adventure film. It is set in a historic World War period, and he travels to all different places: Egypt, Cairo. He goes to Germany, and he bounces all over the place. So it would fall under this criteria. The adventure hero accepts a quest that will bring greater good to his ordinary world. Now, Indiana Jones's quest is going to bring greater good because he's going to stop the Nazis from gaining an important artifact that would give them extreme power over the rest of society. The adventure hero also has special powers that qualify him to be sought for the journey. Indiana Jones's special power is that he is an archaeologist. He understands how these artifacts function and what their importance is. The first-time adventure hero may discover powers along the road. Indiana Jones has been on a number of adventures, so he doesn't discover, powers along the road. What he does discover, though, is how to deceive people, how to move through the Nazis, and how to get to where he needs to be. The quest is usually linked to an overriding world conflict, in this case the Nazis' world domination. The elixir gained by the hero solves the journey at hand and may additionally contribute to solving a greater world conflict. The elixir is their reward at the end. Indiana Jones's elixir is that he gains the knowledge of what the Ark can do, and he accepts the Ark and gains control of the Ark, which helps keep it out of the Nazis' hands. Allies and love interests are less qualified for the adventure. Think of Martin Brody. Think of even Marion. They don't have the skills that Indy has. Even Sulla doesn't have the skills that Indy has, and he's less qualified for the entire adventure. They usually tag along with the hero, and these allies can sometimes act as threshold guardians. Now, a threshold guardian is a character that keeps secrets or doesn't allow the hero to advance in the story. It's a roadblock. Marion is a roadblock because she has the amulet that he needs, so she acts as a threshold guardian. The allies typically will show reluctance and remind the hero of the dangers. Sulla does this over and over throughout the entire film. Now, the essence of the action film, these stories are set in contemporary times and in lands closer to our ordinary world. I'm going to use The Punisher as an example of an action film. It takes place in Tampa, Florida, modern day. We can connect a little bit more with the surroundings. The hero is placed in a situation where they must escape. When we look at him, Frank Castle, the main character, he is in a situation of depression and grief that he must get out of, and he resorts to violence in order to do so. The hero doesn't need someone to tell them how dangerous the journey is. They already know it. Typically in an action film, your hero is going to be a cop. It's going to be someone who has military experience, someone who's been through the ropes before. The hero will typically show fear and reluctance at times. Reluctance is more common than fear. Fear usually shows weakness in the character, and a lot of writers typically try to avoid that, but they show reluctance or doubt in the character. The journey typically does not have world ramifications. It usually has ramifications just solely placed on the hero. It's more focused on the hero's inner journey. Here I'm back to the not having world ramifications. When we look at the Punisher, it's how does he deal with the loss of his wife and family and his son. The hero does not necessarily have powers. They typically have a know-how. They're thrown into uncontrollable circumstances that they can't fully that they have no control over. Frank Castle had no control over the slaughtering of his family. It was something he was thrown into based on his job. He's an FBI agent, and that's what he busts criminals, and he busts the wrong one who ends up dying, and it leads back to the matriarch of the patriarch of the family, and that circumstance just unravels for Frank Castle. They're fueled by sheer will and unshakable conviction. He is a great character to look at because he is just out for revenge at whatever cost. And he does it slyly. He doesn't do it with just violence. He destroys their life. He takes their lives away from them because that's what happened to him by the death of his family. He had no more life. Some typical stories told in the action genre are one, the quests. The hero goes out and quests for something specific, looking for something, trying to figure something out. There's also the chase, where the hero is being pursued by a villain throughout. Now this hero may not be a good hero, maybe an anti-hero, but he's chased by maybe the police or chased by mobsters throughout the story. The defense story. The hero must defend or fortify a specific location to save himself or herself or a group of people. And then the most common is revenge. We see a lot of revenge stories. Kill Bill would fall into this. The Punisher obviously falls into this as well. The hero's two goals. One is the journey of higher cause in the action or adventure plot at hand. We see this more with the adventure story. Or the journey of personal growth. And we see this with the action story, where the hero is trying to grow personally, as opposed to some journey of a higher cause or world ramification.